Hello and welcome to Daro's Comic School, and today we'll take a look at one of my favorite Italian comics, and we have to talk about Sergio Bonelli, Editore, and the comics they make, and these ones are great. If you don't stay for the whole ride, let me show you a few of the cool pictures. These are black and white comic, mostly. They will have beautiful panels like this, as you can see, just to give you a bit of an introduction. Beautiful lady. This story is a bit like Escape from New York, only that this guy, this here, Nata Never, goes in to save this girl, and she's the first artificial woman. I don't know, something special in this universe. The first, and different people, powerful people, try to get their hands on her. And as you can see, beautiful drawings, and there's a certain simplicity here, and also battle suits and cityscapes, and yeah. But let me show you, like, this is amazing. Look at this. Are you already sold on this? So one of my favorite comics is this one, I Predatori dei Mari. This is really great. I will show this in 5 minutes. I will do 5-minute incremental steps. I don't want to spoil the story. I just want to introduce you to this, just in case that you're not aware that these exist. And I'm sure these do not just exist in Italian. I think probably Dark Horse has done some, but let me show you what this is. This is an A5 format. So let me see. This is an A4 page. And here this is A5, like half the page. And it's a really great format. I mean, it fits into your hands. It has 100 pages. It feels like a movie because, like, 100 pages. It's black and white, so you can skip the coloring part. It's drawn, in this case, by Nicola, and in a way, he does a bit of the Mignola, and it's very economic, but it's good because that suits the style. Here, this vampire guy looks a bit like Benicio del Toro, and it's a great format. It's just awesome for a comic or for an album, and it costs, or back in the day, 2,500 lire, which is roughly $2.50, but back in the days, so I don't know, this is probably from the 90s or early 2000s. As you can see, this one is Vampirus, Nata Never 26, and when you got this in your collection, you can see number 1 to 100, and I would say that the first 50 and the first 100 are pretty great. They were not diluted back then. Each story is really great. This Nata Never guy is somehow, he's an agent for the Agencia Alpha, and he's like a detective in the future, and he will know about, or we will see what his backstory was. But this is your Escape from New York, your Snake Plisken, your Blade Runner, your Deckard, something, an amalgamation of those characters, and I will show you further in this video a bit about his backstory, and it's great stuff. So let me start with this. Nata Never, you got always a great cover. Like this comic, they know how to sell books, or at least they knew how to sell books. Like, you got a great cover, a great premise. It's somehow the episode of the week, and through all of these numbers, you have also a red line, something that moves in the background, his backstory, his arch enemy, powerful beings trying to take control of the world. We will see them here. But this is like Vampirus. This is the Monster of the Week episode, like X-Files had them. And so they just take the beautiful story of Dracula and they put it into space. And we start here with a Demeter, and it's a science ship, it's a lab, and it starts with that they lost contact to the lab. The Demeter was spinning out of control, and so let me do it this way. And so some rescue people go in. The Demeter is full of animals and bats and serpents, and everything is in chaos. As you can see, the crew right here, bleeding, dead, here and here, and the animals roaming free. We don't know what went wrong here, and this is the log of the captain of this rescuing crew. And we find everybody dead on board except one guy, and it's not the captain, except one guy, and this guy is the one who financed the whole ship. Like, it's already a mystery. And then we start here, and this girl is also Nathan Never has a team of agents. He works for an agency, and they're somehow employed, but they're all ex-Marines, ex-police, ex-military. We will know a bit about his background, and they're always investigating. It's always like a crime, a murder mystery, and the likes of pretty much Blade Runner, and it's just amazing, and they capture it that well, so well. And this is the guy they find, and like, we know that he's a vampire, but these people don't know. Like, it's written really cool, where they're just trying to do their job. And here, this guy, Nathan Never, goes and interrogates the only survivor, and he says that please don't let the light out. Let's let the light out. I can't stand the light. And Nathan Never says, okay, I absolutely respect that. Can we? And then he interrogates him, and as you can see, the artwork is great. I think Nicola in this stage is definitely channeling Mike Mignola, but it works. And also the black and white works really well. This is some beautiful newsprint to keep it cheap, but it feels like really good. And as you can see, like the drawings, it seems very simple, but I think it's hard to do. But it's definitely economic. Like it's economic storytelling. It's economic visuals. It helps you to tackle the task to tell a story in 100 pages, like a movie. I mean, look at this beautiful lighting. It's just amazing, and it's every time Nicola draws, it's always beautiful. Look at this. Like she's getting the light from the screen, and it's always a murder mystery. And there's some really beautiful adventures. Like this one is great, but he's also one where there's also one like Heart of Darkness, where he goes somewhere and they're exploiting nature. There's definitely him battling robots and space things, but it's always grounded in reality, grounded in science. And it makes it so much fun because, like, he's just a normal human being, a normal detective trying to solve a case. And and the stories are made so great. Like, I hope you're enjoying the art. Yeah, this one is our Dracula kind of type, and here's the Renfield, and here, as you can see, a beautiful mansion, and it looks very Mike Mignola-esque, but I don't mind. It just works. And here, of course, pretty much the retelling of the vampire saga, but it's told really cool. And we see like another good thing or great thing is that it's almost always written really good. It's never boring. The villains are always understandable and somehow relatable, and that's the beauty. The ladies always look good. And yeah, I found this panel was really cool. Like, look at this. Like, very simple, but also very beautiful. And so there's this Renfield guy, and he roams then the city. Nothing ever tries to hunt him down. There's always great action scenes. This feels a bit like Sin City, and you gotta love it. I mean, look at this beautiful black and white, pretty clear. You understand everything. Everything is drawn very well. Still, to a certain degree, very economic. It doesn't overwhelm the reader. I think it doesn't overwhelm the writer or the penciler, the inker, and it's manageable. And so you get 100 pages of pure fun. This definitely feels like an action movie, and it's very interesting. Although you know somehow the story, but you don't know how it will work out. And again, beautiful drawings, just amazing. Here, Nothing Ever has a dream on a ship, and I mean, look at this. Like, I gotta title this "Italian Comics Are the Best." And yeah, and a lesson for the comic school, I think, is if you resonate with something like this, if you like this comic, for example, get yourself one, study it, copy it, implement parts of what you see here in your own comic. Try to study and learn, like a shot like the city and the car, or maybe a murder scene, or maybe you copy something like this, or a shot like this, or a shot like this, like an upshot from the girl. Here, they're somehow thinking about the crime mystery, and by copying, I think you will learn the language. It's like you have to play the cover band in order to get to the level where you want to go. And I think the beauty of the drawings speak for themselves. Like, yeah. And then I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, pretty much everybody dies, and the bad guy gets thrown out on the window and dies, and Nothing Ever saves the day. Sometimes he even sleeps with women. But he's not like, he's very classic. He's like a James Bond kind of type. He's not lusting over the girls. It's just like, yeah, he's a very attractive guy with options. This one is also really great, and please stay for the finale, because this this was something like a special episode, and this was filled with his best stories. I think these are 3 stories, and we get one where he has to go into a city, like here, where there is, again on a spaceship, there is a top secret experiment. I'll show you. I showed it to you because it's so beautiful. It's like the 80s and 90s, the best of the best, like movies and action. Like, as you can see, these are. She's boarding a flight with this doctor, and this guy is a saboteur, and somehow he kills the crew, and he wants to land the ship somewhere safe. As you can see here, they hijack the ship, but the ship is owned by some very powerful people, and on this ship there is this girl, as you can see here. This is another guy, and he's trying to shoot a pilot from the satellite or something like this. Like, it's definitely some... these guys are the womany Umbra, the guys in the shadow, and there are some pretty... How do you say it? It's like the world elite is battling themselves, and then there's a city that's abandoned. It's something like New York City in Escape from New York, and here on the ship, on this island, there are only prisoners, and they try to keep them in, and that's where this ship lands, as you can see here, and he got the girl, but the girl is like the mission. She's artificial, and they trying to get that tag, and so Never has to go in. He has only 48 hours, I guess, and he remembers that island. He once was stationed on it, but something went wrong, and so it's business and it's personal, and so he enters the city to kick some ass and chew bubblegum. And as you can see, I mean, what do I have to tell you? Like, you can see in the pictures, there's a certain beautiful sensibility here. 5 minutes into the movie, we get already some ass kicking, and that's what comics is about, like action, beautiful stories, going in, going out. And so he tries to find her. A lot of strange things happen, a lot of backstabbing, and just a beautiful agent thriller. The two main bad factions are battling it out in the city. There's some factions in the city that want to claim her, and there's just a bunch of trouble here, and also some monsters, some mutants, and just a great story. So this one absolutely great, especially because like he kind of falls in love with a girl. I don't know if he knows it. I think he finds out, or we find out later in the story, that she's an artificial girl. But yeah, they spend the night together somehow. They need to hide in an old library, and they grow close. And then it's up to the final battle, and as you can see, like, beautiful stuff, and just amazing. I mean, I just get goosebumps talking about this, and there's action in this. I mean, I will do a video on how to do movies the Jerry Bruckheimer way, like 80s and 90s style. I don't know if it matches that formula, but definitely there's some beautiful ass kicking, some great art, very simple. It's black and white. There's so many things you can take from this issue if you like comics, or even if you want to do comics. And I don't say cutting corners, but I mean, just keep it manageable to do comics and to create great stories. But I'm sure that, like Nicola Murray, at this point already was a veteran, doing his thing. It takes time to get to the level. It takes knowledge. It takes training. And yeah, and this is then the next great story here. We get an insight about Never and his backstory. And let me show you this. I mean, it's just great. And he shows up, and it's some church or some graveyard, but it's in the city, and he shows up with this beautiful mantle, and here he goes, and here lies Loring Never. And I think at this point, this is like midway through the series. We don't really know that he had a wife, and now we learn that he had a wife and what happened. And we learn about Laura and that she had a child, and this is some Punisher stuff here. And she's now dead. And back then, there's a story in the present, and then there's a story in the back, and it's connected. And we find out how it's connected. And he visits his daughter, but his daughter is like somehow very traumatized. She can't hold nothing. She's just a puppet. and once a year or once in a month he visits his daughter, and yeah, and we find out about the tragic backstory and how he was in love with his wife, but back then he was a cop or an agent, something like this. And there is a case, and he has a partner, and there is a case, as you can see here. He was with the police back then, and they go in, and there is some laboratory, and in this laboratory they are doing some drug-related stuff, but there are also some enhancing drugs, like performance-enhancing drugs. And his team gets wiped out, and they find somehow this mad scientist, and they're hunting down this criminal, and that criminal was about to, this guy, to be juiced up and to be even stronger. And so this guy starts to wipe out his team. He's just so strong, so enhanced, that he starts ripping the limbs apart, and nothing ever blows this guy away, and we don't know what's up, but the story ain't over. He gets accused of stuff, and everything goes really sour. He has his daughter, he has his wife, he has his troubles, as you can see here. Like, beautiful. I mean, I don't know, like, this is the writing and the artwork is so great. Like, both are feeling it. You know what I mean? This is nothing. I mean, this is definitely commercial art, but the creative team was feeling it. And so, Not or Never, I don't know why it's torn apart, but I think that we find out a bit later here that he's having an affair with his supervisor here. He's in love with her, and he's kind of cheating on his wife and his kid. And this murderous giant, he's somehow tracking him down, seeking revenge, or he's hunting him down, this guy. And yeah, and then there's something in the present where this guy is communicating with that girl, and we don't know what's going on. And we see in the past trouble, we see in the present trouble, and it's just like a big 90s action movie with some really great writing, and car chases and fights and drugged up bad guys. And Not or Never, of course, this is very tragic, but spoiler, so if you want to leave now. He comes home in the past, and he finds his wife is murdered by the guy he was hunting, and that leaves him with a shock. He's unable to care for his daughter. His hair gets white. He's also accused of some stuff, and that's when the agency takes him in. He has the option to face jail time or to join the agency, and we don't know really what he will do. But yeah, at the end we find out that he tracks down in the present the bad guy and a doctor, and he finds that the bad guy is now, that he's somehow something like a Frankenstein monster, and that he wants just to be killed. And so Not or Never wants to take revenge, but he sees that this guy is not anymore. Well, he's a victim of his circumstances, and both share a similar, somehow a similar fate, because like he is now used in the agency, and this guy was used for some other experiments. And yeah, we get another story here, something political, something like a commercial agency that is trying to push something green or good for the soil, but in the end we find out that this how do you call it, company is very corrupt, and if at first the soil grows better, stronger, and then the soil will go rotten, and that is when the company will then buy that land and use it for its own purposes and take it away from the people. And Nata never, in this case, sides with the rebels, and kind of switches sides and a lot of that stuff. And if you're still here, here's the final story, and also a very beautiful one. Nata never, we see the story of humans in a laboratory, and they're trying to enhancing humans, and they are aided by aliens or a secret society. And on a different timeline, or in the same time, there is an assault from pirates on some wealthy people, and later we will understand that the pirates are connected to the main guy, and the main guy was once a freedom fighter or a criminal, but he got then experimented on, and he turns into Karmix, this guy. And he's a monster, he's super strong, but he's also very vulnerable and has problems. And this crew here, this pirate crew, is his former team. And so again, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of storytelling. His girl gets him out of here, and she says, "Man, you have changed." And he says, "Yes, I have become a Superman." But we will find out that he suffers from headaches and other stuff. And now they claim this island, which was her parents' island. And from there, they plan, I don't know, some criminal or political activities. And again, Nata never has to go in. He has his team. He launches with them to investigate. And this time they go undercover. They try to get captured so they can infiltrate this base. And once they're in, they kind of trying to save the day, but again they get backstabbed. A lot of political and science stuff going on here, all for the money. And Karmix then says it's enough, and there's a lot of shooting, a lot of people get murdered, and in the end it's again a tragedy. But of course Nata never gets out alive, and the secret societies don't give up, of course, and they plod along. And so it's a bit like X-Files, that you have a monster of the month, but also always like your thin red line that stretches along all those issues, and it's very beautiful. And so I wrap this up. I hope you had some fun, and I think I will call this Italian comics are the best. See ya.